table Coach John Herdman of Canada and player Dane St. Clair that will take your questions. And we're ready to start. So please, we have our people with our microphone that will help us, our volunteers. And just for the media that is attending, we don't have any translation. So I kindly ask your help to raise the questions in English. Okay? So please, let's go ahead. Okay, for Arch and then.
Hi, John. Hi, Dane. Arch Bell with CONCACAF.com. Dane, question for you. With Milan now missing the rest of this Gold Cup, you stepped to the forefront. What did you learn from him? And that experiences with him, how can you apply this to your experience going into tomorrow night?
Yeah, I think me and Milan are the same in some ways, but also different in others. But I think the thing that he's taught me the most is to be yourself, and those differences are okay, and the different attributes that we can bring to the team to really thrive on those and look forward to those. So just being myself and playing my game versus trying to play his.
Thank you. Hi, Coach. Dane, how are you? Coach, does the Nation League final mean anything tomorrow? I mean, it's mostly a different group of players, but it's the same coach, same tactics, same philosophy. And for Dane, sadly, it's because of an injury, but finally you get your big chance to play in a big match. How do you feel personally? Thank you.
Yeah, I think this is an opportunity I've been definitely patiently waiting for, and to be able to have an opportunity like this, I'm looking forward to it. And of course, you never want it to be through injury or anything like that, but in my position, you don't get many opportunities, so I'm looking forward to making the most of it, similar to I have in the past in my career.
Yeah, it's a fresh squad, fresh opportunity. We're excited. It's been a long time since we got a win on US soil, so that's the motivation for tomorrow.
Okay. Hi, John, Dane, Juancho Villaverde, ESPN. John, BJ talked a few minutes ago that he knows what Canada is going to do, what Canada has prepared, and your mentality as a team. And he had a few good words for you. Do you think that with that is enough for you, or you have to make something different to beat the USA tomorrow? And Dane, yesterday, John talked with me to ESPN, and he include you as one of the leaders of this group. How do you feel about it, and how have you been feeling being a leader in this group?
Yeah, I think although I haven't played that much, I've been around the squad for a while now, and I've experienced a lot of the moments, and have been one of the guys that have been at most of the camps in the past. So just being able to kind of step up in that, and of course Milan was our captain and a big leader for us, and I think having that kind of presence at the back is important for our team. So just trying to give guys confidence and prepare everyone for tomorrow and beyond that.
Yeah, I think to be fair to BJ, I think he's done a terrific job. He's stepped in, he's won a Nations League final, he's carrying a trophy around on his CV. Not many coaches get that opportunity, and he took it. So, fair play to him. And I thought he managed the Nations League final well. He went out of what I would say the US identity, which on home soil is typically, to outpass you, outplay you, outrun you. And it was a very direct style of play. But when you've got a front five, I guess, of Balogun, Reina, Aronson, Pulisic and Weah, you get the ball up quickly to them. It's a good opportunity. But I think tomorrow's different. It's a different squad. I like his squad. I think he's got some wonderful players. I've always enjoyed watching Jordan Morris play. I think he's a real threat. I think Ferreira's in some real good form as well. And then, you've got these players like Mihailovic who are really trying to make their mark for their country. So, this will be an exciting USA team for us to test ourselves against. And like any game, I think we're an away team coming into this match. I think the Nations League final, we approached that game as just a one-off match to go and win. But what you were missing was 50% of the stadium being red. So tomorrow we'll learn a little bit around that lesson and just be smart, be a bit smarter than from what we've done in previous games and stay in the game.
Do we have a okay, March?
Then a question for you, John. It doesn't seem like that long ago was the 2019 Gold Cup when you were getting your first taste as Canada coach in a Gold Cup. Now, 4 years later, how have you changed? How have you grown as a coach since that initial Gold Cup voyage 4 years ago when y'all made the quarterfinals?
Yeah, I mean, I remember that experience. We absolutely blitzed. We got first game, we scored 4. Then we get in a taste of the Mexican team. It was our first taste at that next level. And then I think we blitzed Cuba. We were riding high. And then along came Haiti. 2-0 up in a big moment. So you just learn. I mean, I think as a coach, you always learn. That's been part of the evolution of this group of men. Like, we learn together. They know I'm pretty real. Like, some days I'm going to be, at a top level. Other days, you're not at your best, and that's part of football. But there's a consistency here that we have a standard where our preparation is, for me, the detail is right there. I have a great staff that always puts the players in the best position to perform. And we have processes in game, around the game that we trust. And sometimes the football gods, they give it the other way. I mean, that's football. You've got to live with that at times. But I think we've been able to control as many of the controllables over the last 4 years, and I think we've improved. I mean, but this is a fresh squad. I mean, there's a lot of guys here that will get opportunity tomorrow that'll be their first experience of a US derby match. Never mind playing away from home. So the excitement will be there, but there's still a bit of unknown there. Will a guy have his big breakthrough moment tomorrow, or will it be that day where he had to learn some big lessons? So for us, I think we've done everything we can, Dan. We've put a good shift in these last 4 days, and I feel like the team's grown through these 3 days, 3 games, lots of adversity, and it's the foundation for this match.
Good. Please.
Hi, John, Dane, Hugo Ramirez from Univision. A question for both of you. For John, moments ago, Mihailovic was in the press conference and they asked him about a derby, and he didn't want to attach that word for tomorrow's match. Do you think this Canada men's national team maybe has more hunger, more to strive than maybe the US? And for Dane, your coach has told us, and Cavallini told us, that from day one of this camp, he wanted the US and this soil. What can you say about that approach? And if you have the same mentality to strive for tomorrow's match and your first derby versus US?
Yeah, I think we definitely want to be in the knockout stages and playing these type of big games like we talked about. And I think these moments, like John has said, we're going to grow as a team. And there's going to be some tough moments tomorrow, but it's going to be moments that we're going to have to fight through. And to attach the derby word, I think for us, it's a big game. You're playing the home team on their own soil. So I think we know that the crowd's going to be with them. Similar to when we were in Houston, we kind of played in a away environment for us. So that's a new mindset for some of the guys on our team now, but it's about us learning and growing into that and using it to our advantage.
Yeah, I mean, coming to Canada, I'm an immigrant, so from 2011 onwards, the one thing I've seen, and whether it's hockey, basketball, for Canadians, the US is the team they want to beat. So for me, it's my adopted home, and that's the mindset. It's the team that you want to beat. But I think ultimately, what excited me about this was, one, you had USA or Jamaica, 2 tough bloody games. The Jamaicans have brought their top squad, and the US are going to play you on home soil. And Canada haven't beaten a US team since 1957 on home soil. And for us, it's just a great motivator. We've been a team over the last 4 years of, I would say, pioneering moments for our country. First achievements in many things. And I think this group will be hungry and excited to go out and have such a positive motivator in a game like this. I'm not sure, that Jamaican match, other than just progressing to the next round, would have that same sort of feel. But the US always does for us. Maybe not for the US, but for us.
Okay.
Coach, again, thank you. For such a long time, it was just US and Mexico in CONCACAF, and now people and everyone talk about a big three, including you guys in Canada. Does tomorrow's game define something for you, or it means something if you win, you lose? Especially if you win, what does it say about you now being in that big three group and at the same level as Mexico and the US?
I think the main thing for us is just this opportunity to make some history and to raise the bar for the next Canadians that take this opportunity. That's the motivator. It's a really exciting one. It's fire. I mean, that's just a great opportunity if you're any man to go and do something that's not been done for such a long period of time. I don't think we need any more than that. Just the excitement, the top three in CONCACAF. I mean, if we win the game, people are going to say, well, it wasn't the US's best team or whatever. I mean, the narrative will be the narrative. But for us, we know what we're going for and we're excited.
I will take some questions here. Andrew Jones, please, online.
Thank you very much, as always. It's a question for both. Dave, what is the thing that you enjoyed the most about Coach Herdman, and how has been your family's response towards you getting your first full victory games for Canada in the tournament? And Coach Herdman, what is the thing that you enjoy about Dave Sinclair in the soccer?
Yeah, I think it's kind of worked out that we're playing a little bit further north, so my family was able to come drive down, and we'll be at the game tomorrow, which will definitely be a proud moment for myself to be able to kind of play in front of my family for my country for the first time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think with Dan, the first thing is when we do the high five, he doesn't put his hand up here like Milan does, and I can't reach him. I think that's probably I mean, he's a class act. He's been waiting patiently for this moment. He's always that guy. When the brawls are happening, and the Panama brawl, he's one of the first there into the corner. He's always the guy at the last 15 minutes of the game that's just keeping the team going. Like, he understands his role and he plays it brilliantly. So for me, it's been getting to know him as a leader. I think when you bring him into a leadership group and there's new levels of expectation, you just see a different personality. So I knew Dane, the goalkeeper, but now I know him as a leader, and he's a switched-on person. Like, he's a switched-on human being that wants the best for this country, and he's not shy in having an opinion.
I can answer the other part of the question. Sorry, I forgot the other part of the question. But
go ahead, please.
To answer about John, I think the most important thing for us is he brought us all together. And brotherhood is something that we talk about, but it's definitely something that we live every day. I think whether it's guys that aren't here that are still messaging us before games and things like that, the brotherhood throughout our player pool, I think, has been strong. And of course, I wasn't a part of it before John was there, but I think talking to the older guys and the veterans on the team, it's something that he really helped establish. And I think you see it on the field, whether it's the moments of joy or the moments of pain or the fights like that and stuff. We're running in there together, and we know tomorrow is going to be a war, and we're all stepping on that battleground tomorrow together.
Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you, Dane.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach John.